Welcome to another episode of The Heart of the Matter. Today we'll be talking to the leaders of Echoes of Mercy and Hope Foundation. They are Mrs. Fola Soyebo and Mrs. Eme Akenzo. Mrs. Soyebo is the founder and Mrs. Akenzo is a trustee. We'll also have the privilege of talking to two of the young girls who are passing through the foundation, comfort and kindness. And also the youth leader of the foundation, whose job it is to infect the youth of his generation with a passion for doing the kind of work they're doing. So we're pleased to be able to bring you this program. So stay tuned. We'll be back with The Heart of the Matter.
These things sometimes are psychology.
I said to the first financial pastor, as one of your many was enormous.
It was a God experience. I just wanted to find God.
Simply feeling like you're inspired. It isn't always so.
Tell us about the solution.
As one
People
of
with
many
18 to 35 years of age start out of work.
Hey, I don't have the skill for this particular problem to solve this particular problem.
None of us talked about the bread seller.
Welcome to this episode of The Heart of the Matter. Today I'm talking with members of Echoes of Mercy and Hope Foundation, and representing them today are first Mrs. Fola Soyebo, who is the founder of Echoes of Mercy and Hope Foundation, and a trustee, Mrs. Eme Akenzo. You're welcome to The Heart of the Matter.
Thank you.
What does the Echoes of Mercy and Hope, I keep on getting this tongue twisted.
So it's okay.
Maybe it's EMHF.
EMHF. What does EMHF do? What's the vision?
Okay, EMHF was set up to rescue young girls on the streets of Lagos. And so far, we've had more girls out of Lagos than in Lagos. It's unfortunate. But most of the girls that we have in EMHF Girls' Home have been abused or come from dysfunctional families, whereby maybe the pattern has broken down or there was not a pattern in the first place. Some of the girls that have come in because maybe their father or an uncle abused them at a very young age, and their mothers knew about it. And
Let's
like
just,
that.
a lot of people
Yes.
will find it difficult to believe that there's so much abuse. So tell us, what kind of abuse are you seeing?
Okay, I'm seeing a lot of incest. A lot of incest. I'm seeing a lot of abuse coming from homes that break down, marriages that break down, and one partner remarries. I'm seeing a lot of things happening
Is this
there.
sexual abuse, physical abuse?
Mostly sexual.
Okay.
Maybe 80% of it is sexual. Physical abuse is probably about 20, and that's usually common with house helps.
Okay.
People beating up the house helps.
So the house helps are also subject to abuse in the
Yes,
home.
yes.
Okay. So you started,
Yeah.
your mission is to rescue girls
rescue
from the streets.
And bring them in.
And you said that not so many come from Lagos itself.
Yes. Many girls were trafficked. The people told their parents that we're going to bring them to Lagos to get a job. They got to Lagos and they were set up in brothels. So some of the girls ran away, some of the girls were rescued from the brothels. So yes, many of them came in from out of Lagos as well.
Okay.
I must mention one other thing that's very important, and the fact is that we are not social workers. The reason why we're doing this is because it's a form of discipleship to get them to know Jesus Christ.
Okay, so when you say you're not social workers,
Yes.
you're saying that your expertise is not...
It's not enough.
Is not enough.
It's not enough.
Okay, but your mission is to get Jesus.
Yes.
Okay, maybe you take that.
But we have social workers in the home.
We have social workers in the home.
Necessary.
Exactly.
So
yes,
you are looking at
the
the
total
whole
picture.
picture.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Eme, you are very much involved in EMHF. Okay. What's been your experience since you've been there? How has it fulfilled you since you've been working with EMHF?
Well, I'd say I consider it a great privilege, first and foremost, to be involved in this work. I have a heart for children on the streets, possibly younger heritage homes, orphanage, where I'm involved in on a day-to-day basis, but I'm a trustee in EMHF. And It's, for me, it's why I leave. I know it might sound very general, but it is why I leave. It's a big problem in our society, children on the streets. And it's everybody's problem, Pastor Wale, because we all sit in our homes and think life would be good if we don't sort out these kids. But we need to all come together and make sure that we provide a solution for these kids on the streets. These kids would be the problem. They are the problems we have today. The prostitutes who stand on the streets and take people's husbands. The armed robber who pulls a gun, you know, up when you're sitting in your car. And it's important that we all come together and bring a solution to this problem.
Now, you said something which was alarming, that most of the cases of sexual abuse are incest.
Yes.
You know, I was shocked when I heard of a man whose 3 daughters had at one time or the other become pregnant for him. You know, so I think our viewers aren't aware of how serious some of these problems are. Now, what is your modus operandi? What is it that you want to do to get these children off the streets, and how are you succeeding at doing it so far? And what do you need to be able to do it better?
Okay. We actually work with other NGOs. We work with other, like Child Lifeline and other NGOs, like with Alausa Youth Service, it's there as well. We work with them. So they bring the children to us because we don't take them in first hand, because they have to go through the police. They have to get a police report to make sure that all the documentation is okay, so that they won't feel that we've trafficked, we've kidnapped the children. So it's very important. So we're not the first people that get the kids. They come first to another agency, then they're now sent to us. And then when we get them in, we talk to them, because the home is set up for educational. We are purely education. We send them to school. We have a few of the girls in, we have 3 girls now in higher institutions, 1 in Babcock and 2 in Yabatek. So we want to make sure that the girls want to agree to our program. And our program is to rehabilitate them in formal education.
And also to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Also to preach the gospel.
So do you like have fellowships?
Pumps the gospel. not preach, he's literally pumps the gospel.
I do, yeah, because
he is the solution, ultimately.
That's the solution.
Yes, without that. Yeah, so we have counsel. Everyone that works with them is Christians, counselors.
Now, you now have a home.
Yes, we have.
And of course, you'd want to have more homes. But how is it being, getting to the point where you've got a home, so you've got a place that you can keep them? Yes. How's it been? What's the journey been like to this point?
How's it been? Well, I thank God for support. It hasn't been easy at all, because we've had 15 girls come into the home in total, but we've lost 5, because some of them had got so used to the street.
Lost in
5.
the sense that they went back?
They went back.
Okay.
Yeah, some of the girls over the age of 18 are free to leave. When they come in, they have to sign a memorandum of agreement that they're going to abide by our terms and conditions. And so some of the girls have felt that they don't want to go back to school. They'd rather, do what they were doing. Yeah, doing what they were doing before, so they've had to leave. It's really not been that easy, to tell you the truth. But I thank God, because our motto is, together we can change the world. So I've had people hold hands with me together to move forward. Even in your case, Pastor, we've had 2 programs already on Heart of the Matter before we started, and when we opened the home 2014, yes, and Pastor Talbot came to open the home at that time. So that brings an awareness. I found out that so many people that I have met want to help, but they don't know how to help, and they don't know whether they can trust you with their money, because there are a lot of people that take money and don't deliver any goods and don't do anything with it. So it's been hard, but we're getting there.
Well, it's a bit of a contradiction,
yes.
The fact that this studio is in Parkview Estate in Ikoyi, and if we look around us, we see a lot of fine houses, and we see people living in relative luxury. Yes. And some of them might decide, when they watch a program like this and see what people like yourself are doing, to, rather than buy another luxury car, to donate the money or even give in kind. Okay, so there are people like that who may just prefer to do something to help. And the house is there.
Yes, the house.
So anybody who wants to be sure that you're actually spending the money on this project can take a visit to the house. I'm sure that you'll be very happy to...
Yes, we have a website as well.
Okay. And besides, you're first a child of God. Yes. And so, you know, what God wants you to do, you must do with all your strength and ability. Emma, you've got a bit of experience being a trustee of this and working with Heritage House. What would you say to a member of the public who says, look, I want to do something? What would you tell them? How would you advise them?
Well, basically, I'd say it's good to do what you choose to do for God, and there are lots of opportunities. We tell people you can start by praying for us. That's absolutely important. We need your prayers. We can't do anything without your prayers. And practically, like Pastor Wale said, you could come into the home and see for yourself what we're doing with the children, see the quality of care the children are getting. And we have a list of things that you can do. So it could be anything from up there to, you know, we need a second home, a halfway home. And there are lots of opportunities. In terms of being comfortable with what you're giving, we've put in place very serious structures. You know, there's a lot of accountability. The people on the board are trusted people known in society who, over the years, people have come to trust because we wanted to do things properly, and we purposely chose the trustees that we have on EMHF projects. So the structures, like I said earlier on, are in place. We have accounts, we render accounts monthly, and have a firm that comes in and looks at the books, you know, to make sure that things are being done properly. There's transparency, there's openness. You can come and see for yourself.
One question I want to ask, I know I've been told that we should go on a break, so when we come back from the break, you'll be able to tell me why girls, not boys. Viewers, stay tuned. We'll be back in a moment with the Heart of the Matter. Welcome back to the Heart of the Matter, where we've been talking to Mrs. Fola Soyebo of EMHF and Mrs. Eme Akenzua, a trustee of EMHF. And just before we went on our break, I asked the question, why girls and not boys? So you're on the spot.
Okay, before I started this, I had a conversation with Child Protection Network, and I asked them that which sector needs help. And she told me that there are many homes for boys, surprisingly, but not enough for girls. And we found that even in our society, many of the girls are not even sent to school. So they just abandon them or leave them, and they send the boys to school. So that's why I went for girls.
Okay, and so there is a big problem.
It's a big problem.
Of girls on the streets.
Yes, and not enough homes to take care of the
girls. Because we don't tend to see them. When your car is in traffic, it's the boys you see.
Yeah.
So where are the girls?
They're normally hawking,
okay,
in the brothels, or doing menial work for maybe somewhere on the streets.
A sub question to one of the things we've talked about now is the fact that you said a lot of these girls are brought in, they're trafficked in, and end up in brothels. Now, some young girls end up working in domestic situations. What should the attitude of house owners be to employing people that are so obviously underage to be working?
For me, ever since I started the home, I realized that some of the girls that come in are too young to be your house help. And if they're going to be your house help, you need to send them to school. You need to tell the parents that, look, they're going to be with me for 2 years, but I want to send them to school so that you can take them in as your own child and put something back into their life. Another thing that I realized is that it doesn't happen a lot, but it does happen sometimes in the cases whereby they get beaten up unnecessarily. You'd beat up a small 6-year-old girl for not waking up on time, but meantime, your 10-year-old son is fast asleep in his bed. So we have to be very careful how we treat house helps because, you know, they are human beings, they're children, exactly.
They've also got children.
Yes, they've got children.
Should be taken care of. I mean, typically, I would have said don't even employ them as house helps. But then the point is valid. They need a home anyway. They need care. They will probably be worse off being they're worse off being on the streets anyway. So take them in, but treat them as human beings. They're God's creatures.
So the answer is, don't employ them as employees. They're too young. But if you want to help them, if your primary objective is to help them, first they need an education. So make a commitment to send them to school. And then don't treat them differently from the way you treat your own children. Now that can be difficult for a lot of people, but it is doable. It's possible because you're not on your own. Okay. So if you had it all to do all over again, would you still do the same thing, and how would you do it differently from the experience that you've had so far?
I'll still do the same thing again, because I feel that we need to impart society, and I get so much fulfillment that the girls are doing so well. They're doing well in terms of their education, socially they're doing well. They're doing well in terms of knowing Jesus Christ. So I would do it again. But what I would do differently would be that I'd ask for more help. I pray I would get it though.
You could ask for more help right now.
Yes, okay. Now that I'm on camera, I was wondering whether if anybody has an uncompleted building. I'm a chartered surveyor by profession. My husband is an architect. We could just do it up, because we need a halfway house. Once the girls have finished their education, we can't put them back on the street without them knowing how to cope in the real world. So a halfway house would give them a room whereby they'd pay a reduced amount for their rents, and they'd learn how to live on their own in society, because once we educate them, we can't just throw them out.
Back into the system.
Back into the system. So we'll get them a job. So we need people that could also employ them. We have one that's doing law at the moment. We have two doing accounting.
She's gone through university, or she's reading law at university?
She's reading law at the moment. She's on her second year now. And
I can see how you feel fulfilled.
Yes.
Because here's somebody who would probably be a prostitute in a brothel, who now has every chance of becoming a lawyer. And can become anything. A president.
Yes.
Anything.
You know, yes. I even have one little girl. She used to beg on the street with her mom. Her mom had serious cancer, and she was begging. And I was actually bringing her report card to show you, but I just left it at home. Because now she's totally transformed. Somebody sponsored her to go to school, to a private school, and she's doing so well in school. And she wants to be a president's wife.
That's interesting, not a president, the president's wife. Okay.
Well, you can inspire her
to be more than
the
the wife.
president, so her husband becomes the president's husband.
Yes.
It's been so wonderful having you. We'd like to have a chat with some of the children, or one or two of the children that have passed through or are passing through EMHF, and so thank you so much for being here. I'm sure you will be around while we chat with them. Viewers, we'll be back in a moment talking to the children. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Heart of the Matter, where we're talking to, this time, some of the children and the youth leader of EMHF. Okay. Now let me warn you that the children's faces will be blurred because we're trying to protect their identity. They still have to go to school and so on and so forth. So we don't want anybody to know what they look like. First of all, let me come to you, Tony. You are the founder of EMHF's Son, but you're also the director of the youth wing. Tell me, what does the youth wing of EMHF do?
Well, we get our generation more involved in kingdom business.
Okay.
I find that we have a capacity to do a lot more than our previous generation. So instead of being carried away by the things of the world, we get people involved in violently taking people out of darkness.
Okay. Violently taking people out of darkness. I love that. The kingdom of God suffereth violence, and the violent take it by force. Could you, for the benefit of our viewers who don't know what kingdom business means, just explain in 30 seconds what kingdom business is?
Kingdom business in the Bible, we always see take care of the fatherless, feed the oppressed. And the Bible says Christianity is religion without taking care of the children and taking care of the fatherless and helping those that are in need of help and keeping yourself isolated from the world. So kingdom business is preaching the gospel and also taking care of people and bringing them out of darkness into light. So that's what God cares about, and that's what we are involved in.
You're here to do. Congratulations for that, because there's not many people in your generation that are doing that. But seeing your example, I'm sure a lot more people will begin to follow. Now we have with us Comfort. Comfort had ended up in the home of a pedophile and went through a lot of abuse. But today her story has changed. Thank God for Jesus Christ. Her story has changed and she's now in school. So Comfort, tell us your experiences after you came in contact with Echoes of Mercy and Hope Foundation.
I felt happy because I felt that I have a hope again after all that I went through.
How did it feel not to have any hope?
It's not easy.
You didn't want to wake up in the morning or get out of bed in the morning? Or?
I wouldn't want to see my stepfather's face. But there was nothing I could do because the threat was that I have to go back to the village. And I don't want to leave Lagos to go back to the village. I have to just enjoy it.
But now you're in school.
Yes.
And from all I've heard, you're doing well in school. Okay? How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel happy because at least all that I've gone through, I didn't allow it to weigh me down. I just know that my education is my priority. And to make it in life, I have to be focused. And I was like, oh my mind.
And not only have you got the opportunity of an education, you're going through an education, you're also being supported in all sorts of ways, clothes, books, and all those things. So today you know that nothing can stop you from becoming whatever you want to become.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what do you want to do? What do you want to read? I'm sure you will go through secondary school and then enter university. What do you want to read in university?
Right now I'm in science class. And
okay.
I want to study medicine. I want to become a medical doctor, a gynecologist to the first.
Okay, so you've gone as far as deciding what specialty in medicine you want to do. So we wish you, Comfort, all the very best. May you become Dr. Comfort one day.
Amen.
Amen. Now we also have with us Kindness. Kindness has also been through a lot of abuse, but she's here today. Kindness, what is happening in your life now?
Right now, I found a new beginning. I found a life again. Because after all I've passed through in life, I was thinking that the whole world has ended in my life. But I just thank God for making my dream to come true.
What would you say about Mrs. Fola Soyebo and the other people in EMHF? What would you say about them? Somebody said, tell us something about Mrs. Soyebo. What would you say?
To Miss Soyebo, the founder, she's a caring mother, and she's God-fearing one. I think I would say this because of me that she creates the home. She's really a caring mother. She's nice. She's kind. She's always happy. She's encourageous.
How can you thank her? What can you do to thank her? Let me give you a suggestion. I think the best way to thank her is to succeed in your education and beyond. And then when you've succeeded, you can come back and say, I remember where I am coming from and who helped me when I had no other help. And you can support her. What do you want to do with your life after or during your education? What do you want to study at university, for instance?
I want to be a lawyer.
You want to be a lawyer? Good. So lawyers, you don't have a specialty like Comfort. You just want to be a lawyer. Great. And you can be a lawyer, and you will be a lawyer if you work hard. Nobody gets to be a lawyer unless they're ready to work hard, study hard. So when you get to university, your friends, your colleagues may be playing around, study, and you will surely make it.
Amen.
Viewers, we've got one more segment after the break when we'll be rounding up with the founder of EMHF. Stay tuned to the Heart of the Matter. Welcome back to the Heart of the Matter, where we're into the closing segment of this week's episode. I'm with the founder of Echoes of Mercy and Hope Foundation, Mrs. Fola Soyebo. Fola, if you had the opportunity to tell our viewers what you would like them to go away with having watched this episode, will you just for a moment look into the camera and tell them what you'd like to be their takeaway from this program?
Okay, I have two things I'd probably like to say to you. The first being is that together we can make a change. And when we see things that need to be done, even if you can't do it all by yourself, you can just take a step. Then God will meet you there. Then you can get other people to help as well. Secondly, what I'd like to say is that we have a lot of needs that we need in the home. I had mentioned earlier about the halfway house. We're looking for a house, uncompleted, or one that someone give to us for 20 years. So we could just use it to get the girls out and put them back into society. We need a bus. We need committed giving. We would love people to give us money every month, 5,000, 10,000, 20,000, whatever you feel you can do comfortably, so they can help us to plan to pay salaries. Our salaries and school fees is in the region of 600,000 every month, and we're going to the third year now. So we would love help, and we'd love a bus too, and anything else. Volunteer work would be great. Social workers, people to come and help in the home. We need another matron to help the matron that we do have. She needs time off from the girls once in a while. So any help Lord lays on your heart, get in touch with us, please.
Well, you've heard it from her. Thank you ever so much.
Yes.
But to you, to Mrs. Akenzwa, to Tony, to Comfort and to Kindness, thank you so much for coming. Viewers, you've heard it. All the details of the Echoes of Mercy and Hope Foundation will be on the screen. You can get in touch with them. And please, please, please do something to help. You're not helping Mrs. Fola Soyebo. You are helping girls who have been subjected to the most awful kinds of treatment by human beings. And that help is huge, because not only are there physical scars, there are also mental and emotional scars which have to be treated as well. It's been our pleasure on The Heart of the Matter to bring this episode to you. We'll be back again next week with another episode of The Heart of the Matter. Until we see you next week, stay blessed.